The Department of Justice just dropped a bombshell. There's a brand new case involving none other than Diddy and Jay-Z. Looks like more trouble is brewing for these two right when you thought things were cooling down.
So I got investigated by the same DOJ that's investigating Diddy. And why is this interesting? It's the most powerful Department of Justice in the world, and the reason why is because they have sovereignty to pick and choose cases all across America. So for example, Diddy had a home raid happen in Los Angeles and Miami, but the DOJ that chose his case is from New York, Southern District. They deal with the most high-profile cases in America. That's why my, case was so, or not my case, I didn't really have a case. I had an investigation. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about, is the investigation process is something that I went through as well. Though I didn't do anything wrong, so there was no charges, no, indictment or anything. But for Diddy, obviously, everyone's expecting him to get indicted. So what does it mean that his houses got raided? What does it mean that it was Homeland Security in connection with the case? A lot of people touch on these subjects already, but there is a grand jury probably set out for his case and for his indictment. There is probably subpoenas for all of his accounts, social media, cell phone, everything. They've probably had his phone tapped for quite some time now. The speed in which they're moving the investigation is likely due to the target finding out that he is under investigation. It seems like Diddy knew that he was under investigation. This happens very oftentimes because they start to do proffer sessions or interview people that the subject or target may know. And so these are ways that sometimes the target gets tipped off to federal investigations. They call someone asking for information. That person then calls the source and says, hey, I got called by federal agents. And just sometimes they're just curious, like, is this real? Like, what's going on, And in doing so, they tip off, like, the target, which is Diddy in this case, right? What else is interesting? I've been to that house. It's really random, but when I was running Schmacked, my first company, I had a meeting with Justin Combs at that exact house in Bel Air. I remember, like, walking on the side corridor to get through to the backyard where Justin's, like, miniature house is in the back. Was interesting. The house is built really randomly. It was actually the night of the MetLife Gala, and Diddy was there, and he was going to fly out to New York that night to do the gala. This is like 7 years ago, probably. I was still living in Los Angeles at the time, and it was a quick meeting. I was there for probably an hour. Ray Shremmerd was also there. But yeah, that was basically the gist of it. And yeah, that's the video. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but Fortnite's loading.
The DOJ has just announced a full-scale investigation, gathering testimonies from former associates and business partners. It seems cooperation is widespread, hinting at a solid case building against Diddy and Jay-Z. Looks like they've made some powerful enemies throughout their careers.
A significant escalation in the federal investigation into Sean Combs is the fact that witnesses have been notified that they will be called in front of the grand jury to testify in support of the prosecution seeking criminal indictment against Sean Combs. The grand jury, when it's convened, will hear testimony from witnesses and other evidence that the prosecution puts forward as a way for them to then issue an indictment of specific criminal charges. That indictment, if they end up making it, will be made public and would be the start of the criminal process against Sean Combs. And in the midst of this escalation, he is apparently staying out of the public eye. It is reported that he's going to be missing his daughter's graduation.
Okay, so I have some updates in this whole Diddy scandal. As we've been watching this man's cookie crumble, this shit is just getting worse and worse as the days go on, which I expected. But as if this man is not already barbecue fucking chicken, he now has the former CEO of Motown Records, which also happens to be his former chief of staff, has cut a deal and is willing to testify against him about everything they know that he was doing. Let's get into it. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, then you already know. In February, there was a lawsuit brought against Diddy by a producer of the name Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod. Lil Rod alleges that Diddy did all type of stuff to him, some of which I can't say, but it is not limited to trafficking, forced drug use, abuse, fraud, all type of stuff. Now, in this lawsuit, he named several people, one of them being Ethiopia Hampton Miriam. Miss Hampton Miriam is the former CEO of Motown Records, and she is also Diddy's former chief of staff. So in the original lawsuit, Lil Rod claims that Ethiopia, as well as the others that he named in that civil suit, were either witness to, a part of, or aware of the things that he's claiming in that suit. However, the tables then shifted and Ethiopia struck a deal with Lil Rod. She is now agreeing to be a witness on his behalf to testify about all the shit that she's seen and everything that she's aware of in exchange for her being removed from this lawsuit. What does that mean for Diddy? I think that means that he just went from barbecue chicken to fried fucking fish, because I think that Ethiopia is just one of many that are going to strike deals to save their own ass, and they're going to tell everything they motherfucking know. And no, this ain't just smoke and mirrors. She made it official when she wrote a deposition to the judge agreeing that she will fully cooperate and be a witness and testify if needed in this civil suit against Diddy. They have since filed an amended lawsuit. The bottom line is this. That man is burnt fucking bread. And as the days go on, I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more that's uncovered. So make sure you're following me, because who is here for it is me. Diddy, your ass is done. Rest in peace, Tupac.
As the spotlight heats up, Jay-Z has managed to stay out of the media's glare, but Diddy is taking the brunt of it. He's feeling the fallout, losing endorsements, stepping down from company boards, and even giving up his honorary degree.
The downfall of Diddy continues. Howard University's board of directors voted today to rescind Diddy's honorary degree and return a $1 million donation. So according to the Hilltop Online, they said the board also voted on June 7th to terminate a 2023 pledge agreement worth $1 million that was never fulfilled by the Sean Combs Foundation, according to a university statement sent to Hilltop. Also, they said Howard will revoke all honors and privileges associated with Combs' 2014 Doctor of Humanities honorary degree, which includes being invited to participate in special events and occasions. Howard continues, they said Mr. Combs' behavior as captured in a recently released video is so fundamentally incompatible with Howard University's core values and beliefs that he's deemed no longer worthy to hold the institution's highest honor.
The fallout for Sean Diddy Combs following sex abuse allegations against him. Combs has temporarily stepped down as chairman of his cable TV network Revolt. This month, the music mogul was accused of sexual abuse by 3 women, including the singer Cassie, who was his ex-girlfriend. The case involving Cassie was settled, and Combs denies all the allegations made against him. Revolt said Combs previously had, quote, no operational or day-to-day role in the business. Combs has not commented. Meanwhile, Capital Preparatory, the charter school network that Combs helped to create, announced it's ending its partnership with him.
Diddy stepping down as the chairman of Revolt amid sexual assault allegations. So, in a statement shared on social media, Revolt TV announced that Diddy has stepped down from his position as chairman, and we have the audio of that.
Diddy is one of his companies in his empire, and that is
one of his biggest, actually.
Yeah, Revolt TV. We found out this morning that Diddy is stepping down
temporarily.
Chairman.
The fact he's stepping down, to me, means that these lawsuits are not going to go away immediately, he doesn't think. But if it was just purely a money grab, you'd think it's something that a man of his means could get rid of pretty quickly.
And so with that, 50 Cent, the troll of all trolls, he posted to his Instagram. He said, I can't believe my brother love won't sell me Revolt. It angers me. He's going to sell it to the white man. LOL. And also with that, Diddy's partnership with the charter prep school has also ended. So his partnership with Capital Preparatory School has been terminated. So, it's a lot of things happening in the Diddy camp.
I doubt he had a choice in any of those matters because, both of those situations are bigger than him, Revolt and the charter.
Social media is buzzing with reactions, ranging from shock to disappointment. Even sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has chimed in, expressing deep dismay over their alleged actions.
Move on to this. Can't end the show without touching on this subject. I got to quickly touch on Sean P. Diddy Combs. As more organizations continue to separate themselves from what can only be termed now the disgraced music mogul. The latest was Howard University, an historically black college university, an HBCU, whose board of trustees voted unanimously last week to revoke the honorary degree given to him in 2014. The university also made the decision to return Combs' $1 million contribution and terminate a $1 million pledge agreement from the Sean Combs Foundation. The board of trustees issued this statement about its decision. Quote, Mr. Combs' behavior, as captured in a recently released video, is so fundamentally incompatible with Howard University's core values and beliefs that he is deemed no longer worthy to hold the institution's highest honor. It ain't about applauding anybody, including Howard. It's about recognizing the necessity of this move. You disassociate yourself from people who are found to be guilty. I'm not talking about in the court of in the court of law. I'm talking about what we saw in video. You cannot associate yourself with somebody who would do what P. Diddy did. I'm not here to excoriate the man and anything like that, but what he did to his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was criminal. It was not only disgraceful, it was criminal. And the LAPD basically said the only reason we couldn't prosecute his ass is because it's a statute of limitation on that kind of stuff. And it happened years ago. It was vicious. It was a lot. And he said that his behavior on that video was inexcusable, no excuses, etc., etc. I'm going to go a step further. I've seen no one in the hip-hop community come to his defense at all, even before the video came out. Before the video came out, there was allegations of sex trafficking. There was allegations of assault since, allegations of rape, whatever. Nobody? Nobody? Just the other day, we talked about Will Smith. We talked about him with the whole Chris Rock incident. But what did we never fail to say? That we've never seen anything like it. Will Smith is a good brother with an exceptional reputation, whose behavior that night was incredibly uncharacteristic and a complete aberration from anything we've known him to be. So when his boy Charlie Mack and others talked about grace, you can understand where they're coming from. When you talk about the people he's employed, when you talk about the things he's doing, when you talk about his love for Martin Lawrence and vice versa, when you talk about all of these things, there is 1,000 times more good than bad with Will Smith. Nobody says anything about Diddy. Nobody. Nobody. I mean, again, before the video was exposed by CNN, before any of us knew that happened, when we just heard the allegations, when we saw Homeland Security raid his homes in Miami and Los Angeles, nobody spoke up for him. And now we not only have Howard University and HBCU disassociating themselves from him and confiscating an honorary doctorate they gave to him, figuratively speaking, of course. They gave back the money. And I'm here to tell you, even though Howard's endowment is significant, especially compared to any other HBCU out there, but certainly nothing in comparison to Ivy League schools, $1 million is $1 million. And $1 million commitment is $1 million commitment. And for them to say, we ain't messing with you, we want nothing to do with you. You know what it is? You could call it bad. You could call it worse. This is what I call it. The end. Whether he's in jail or not, whether he tries to resurrect his music career or not, because there's always a way to make money, especially with what he does for a living. Here is the reality. A music mogul who is a product endorser and beyond now finds himself with folks on all levels wanting absolutely positively nothing to do with him. I never thought in my wildest dreams that that day would arrive for somebody as brilliant, as talented, as omnipotent, and as tenacious as P. Diddy. But it has. Lesson for us all. Mind our manners, mind our behavior, guard our names and reputations, and our families and our loved ones with everything we have. Because you never know when it can be gone just like that.